advisor, our chief guest for the day, Mr. Kaustav Majumdar, other dignitaries, and my dear students. I welcome you all to today's webinar. The topic of today's webinar is Empowering the Entrepreneurial Mindset. An entrepreneur would be someone who can turn ideas into actionable plans and strive to achieve those plans. Entrepreneurship education motivates students to explore education beyond the classroom walls and acquire skills that would propel their ideas. Towards achieving this goal, the Neotia University wishes to set up an incubation cell to nurture the entrepreneurial mindset of the students. The incubation cell nurtures technology ventures through their startup phase by providing all the support necessary to help entrepreneurs establish themselves before they scale up their ventures. Today marks the inauguration of the incubation cell of the university. I would request Dr. Niloy Sarkar, Dean Academics and Head of Incubation Centre, TNU, to share a few words with us. Sir, please.
Very good morning to all of you. I believe my voice is clear and audible to all of you. That's good. In fact, it was a long dream, and that is supposed to be, implemented today after a spell of almost 2 years. We had a kind of ambition to start this incubation cell to ignite the young mind who are present in this campus. Probably in everyday life, we have a lot of thoughts comes in our brain, our mind, and probably we are not giving much importance or some kind of weightage to that. But when we have that kind of platform of an incubation cell, probably that will be giving us some kind of mileage and some kind of opportunities to all the young minds in this campus to nurture them, their ideas, and to make it a success towards implementing to a startup. So today we have with us a very special guest for us, Professor Kaustav Majumdar. I know him for a long time. He remained one of my colleagues at one point of time. So the Kaustav Majumdar is such a person that he is a versatile person, and he is an expert. I have seen a lot of people who are working in this incubation cell and idea generation or entrepreneurship, and he is one of the iconic figure in this particular field. So we have invited Professor Kaustav Majumdar to ignite the young mind who are in this campus, especially the students and a set of faculty who are correctly rightly engaged in this particular incubation center. I am very sure get learn generators into some kind of just make it a success. So I would like to welcome Professor Majumdar. This particular as you know that there are and the request of all my with us, and at least this particular session we will gather each and every students, and that is our objective for. So I'll be requesting all the participants of this program, please bear with us. There may be some kind of problems how they and ultimately we are trying to minimize all these issues and problems at the earliest. Engineers are working on that particular point. So I once again welcome all the participants and especially the guests of today's discussions. Majumdar,
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to share his thoughts on this endeavor with us. So, please.
হ্যাঁ পিছন দিকে বলছে তো স্টুডেন্টের সামনে পিছন হ্যাঁ পিছন দিকে স্টুডেন্টরা পিছন দিকে আসবে আমি সামনে বলে আছি that's not equal to that particularly our honorable dean of health science our honorable guest Dr. Mukherjee and Mojumdar, sorry, Mr. Mojumdar, and my dear students, our faculty member, and particularly the student affairs people, those who have applied, they have taken initiative to make this program in a that integrated mode, both virtual as well as real mode. Perhaps that more or less every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm going to the car park. So when I learned that the program will be happening, I was not thinking that all the things are in online. So I was in the Chancellor's office and know that some people must come to interact with me. That's why I'm trying to go to the online mode. But when I realized that it's happening in our campus, I don't know, I go physically because as I mentioned many times that the blackheads, all these blackheads are the source of inspiration. You are the source of inspiration. I'm coming here for you. Now the new perception is coming, that we are not, COVID has given a problem. COVID also helped us to know the new ideas, develop the new ideas. Because that when you are difficulties, you develop your own technology. So COVID has helped us to develop some new systems also. Virtual mode, we are not accessing the virtual mode. But due to the COVID, we can virtual mode. Now the question is coming out, how we can accept or how we can adapt the graduate and postgraduate and other things, those who are coming from the universities, not only our Neotia University, but also our university, how we absorb them, how we help them to develop the economy such that it will sustain. Right? The job is changing day by day, and there is massive condition. If you look at the economic condition after the COVID, economic condition has been deteriorated all. But we have to survive. How will we survive? That's the main question. Right? There are two options. That if you go for a job, you become a job seeker, or you develop yourself to a job creator. Our university has an incubation center which is insisting you not a job seeker but a job creator. Mind it. There are many things that come out where you can develop yourself as a job creator. You can work with your friends, you can work some of the people outside and new technology, new system such that you can generate the things in three ways: resource generation, resource distribution, and resource distribution. Right? If you can do it right way, I think that you don't have to think for a job, you create a job. I'll give an example that suppose you are developing some technology, you are taking your the friends have come, you develop the technology. Friends is doing some of the places like Chhattisgarh, develop the same technology. Here you can develop some of the people. So you see, the resource generation, you generate the resource from here, you distribute the resource from here, and there are some of the people who come out, they will act as a marketing man, they will act as a developer, they will act as a technology seller, something like that. So this way, the total cycle can be completed, and that is the role of the incubation center. I hope that this incubation center will help you to grow yourself to be a job creator. Thank you for allowing me to present something in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. for motivating our students. We are profoundly delighted to welcome the chief guest for the day, Mr. Kaustav Majumdar, an advanced degree in leadership strategy and social psychology from the London Business School and a computer science degree from the University of Southampton. Mr. Majumdar has 25 years of experience and a long list of professional achievements attached to his name, including one in psychometrics from the University of Cambridge. Advisor in a number of exciting startups, some not startups anymore, like Sun Solutions, UFO Olympia, E-Intelligence, Orbiting, Y-East. He has taught more than 50,000 students all over the world and is a well-known counselor, interview skills trainer, and advisor to young adults in more than 12 countries. His current engagements in academia include his work with the incubation and entrepreneurship initiatives at SPJ Institute of Management and Research, MICA, IIM Calcutta, Pune University, and IIIT Lucknow, mentoring and advisory roles in Group NSH, and ICARE. Sir Majumdar to enlighten our students on this topic.
Thank you very much for having me over here today. I'm truly delighted and very, very grateful. Thank you, Dr. Sharkar, for inviting me over. Thank you, Vice Chancellor, sir. Your words at the beginning, I think, set the right tone for the next 45 minutes, hour that I'll be spending with all of you. I have a presentation to share, and it will have a few videos. I hope technology does not come into the way. I would need to be given permissions to share my screen, please. Um, I, is there? Could you hear me? And also, can you turn the screen towards the audience because I'm looking at the ceiling right now. This gentleman there.
Give us a minute.
Not a problem.
Professor Majumdar, I believe now you can share. Now you can share your slides.
Yes. Dr. Sarkar, I mean, just first, can I request the others to be put on mute, please? There's a lot of disturbance.
সিদ্ধার্থ স্যার কাইন্ডলি সকলকে মিউট করে দিন এভরিবডি অন মিউট প্রচুর আওয়াজ আছে except the presenter let all be in the mute
Okay, I think we've been able to do that. আমার একটা presentation আছে যেটা I'm going to be sharing with everybody. There are videos over there. I'm not sure the videos will be able to play it on Microsoft Teams from the presentation. Let us see if we can do it. This
Yes,
is an
sir.
experiment.
Yes, sir.
This is just an experiment just to see whether it works or not. Please confirm to me that you can see my screen and hear it.
Yes, sir. This.
Yes, sir. This,
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
can
sir.
hear it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay. Can you see my screen which says "and today is"?
No, sir. It is the screens is showing when life gives you lemons. The worst traffic in the world.
Okay, no problems. Can you see my screen which says "and today is"?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me over here. You started a little late, so I will cut down to some of my slides. We are going to spend about 40, half an hour, 40 minutes on my presentation. I will be very happy to take questions after that. First and foremost, let me congratulate Neotia University for taking this extremely crucial step of sort of getting into the world of entrepreneurship with setting up your incubation cell. I'm very, very grateful that you have decided to call me over here. I'm even more grateful that you have taken this step, which I think is going to be great, not just for your university, but for every student who studies there, every faculty who teaches there, the alumni who pass through this wonderful institution, and the local community that you will be supporting via this. Um, Thank you for the introduction that you gave me. Before I carry on, little note about myself. Um, I have been an entrepreneur since I was in school. My first business venture was in class 7. I tried to open a library. After about 2 months of running it, I realized I'd lost about 300 of my books. My business partner was a gentleman called Amit Arora. He stays in Bombay. The two of us could not understand why the wonderful business did not take off. But my first business was then. Ever since, I have had the opportunity of being part of different types of businesses in different parts of the world. Many have not worked out. Some I got lucky. I have also been I'm very privileged that I have had the opportunity of spending time with young minds for the last 20 odd years. Teaching is not really a profession of mine. It's more of a passion for me. It has given me a lot. It has taught me a lot more than I have been able to teach. And I feel very embarrassed when I'm introduced in places like this as Professor Kaustav Majumdar. I don't think I have done anything substantial in my life to warrant the tag of professor. I'm just somebody who likes to spend time with both academia and the world out there. Most of my life, I have been an entrepreneur. I have had the opportunity of investing in a few businesses where things have looked good. I'm not sure those things turned out to be good because of me. But what I am sure of is that the journey so far in the last 25 odd years have been fantastic. And I am sure that the next, I don't know how long I will live, hopefully another 25 years, um, will also be absolutely fantastic. With that, the first slide, as you say, is "and today is." To me, I'm going to ask this question again at the end. And today is what? You can you can answer this by saying, today is a Wednesday. You can say today is the 23rd of February of 2022. You can say very many ways to describe what today is. In my mind, today is a very, very significant day. And I'm going to ask you guys again, right at the end. Please remember this slide. Before we sort of carry on with the rest, first things first, At any given point in time, if you're unable to hear me or see my screen, I'm requesting Professor Sharkar, you or one of your colleagues, please stop me and let me know. First things first, COVID-19 has happened. It is the big elephant in the room. It has impacted every single human being in this planet. And it is going to continue to impact us in the future. 2 days back, I think part of the COVID task force for the central government said that we may get one more wave in 6 months' time. But human beings, just like every other living species, but definitely perhaps a little more than most other living species, is a highly resilient species. Today, after 2 years, one more wave of COVID-19 does not does not send shivers down our spines anymore. After what we saw in the last 2.5 years, 2 years, especially last year, we feel we have the goods to come out of it. But it's going to impact us in the future, and what we do not know how long this is going to impact us. I saw this meme last year, some of my students sent it to me. I found it beautiful. And it kind of summarized what the world went through. Let's get scared a little bit before we look up. They say more than 500 million jobs were lost. I think it was more. 1 crore plus jobs were lost in the second wave in India. 97% of households' income in India were impacted or reduced. Of course, there were a few whose income seemed to double and quadruple, but we most likely are not in those select 0.1% of the society. All industries were hit. Life will not be what it used to be before. Life will never be like what it was in 2019. So let's get scared, really, and do what? Be paralyzed with fear, give up, crawl in a corner, wait for the inevitable, or for things to automatically get better? Is that what defines a human being? No. You'll see a lot of cats in my presentation. I have dogs at home, but I'm obsessed with cats. No, I refuse to be paralyzed with fear. I don't know whether this meme is actually true or not. One more from WhatsApp University. But let's assume it's true, and I do not know how to read the Chinese script. Apparently, crisis is written like that. Crisis is Shondi Vichhet Kulle. You will be able to see it as danger and opportunity. The Vice Chancellor also spoke about this. COVID gave us many things to be sorry about, sad about. It ruined our lives, but it gave us many opportunities as well. Today being a great example of this, where this is a hybrid program, and this is happening all over the world. 2 years back, we did not even think it's possible. Let's look at the world slightly differently. I refuse to be cowered down. I refuse to be paralyzed. I refuse to be helpless. And I refuse to wait. I accept things are bad, things won't be easy, things will not be like before. 2011, 1983, when India won the World Cup for the first time, I was a little boy. I remember it was not, I don't think I saw television of that. I think I heard it on my radio. My father was abroad at that point in time. I was all by myself. The games were in the middle of the night. I've played professional cricket all my life. I still play cricket. I'm an old man, but I still play cricket. 83, I was just a baby. And then I had to wait for a very long time for that to be repeated. But it did happen. It's 2011. We came close in 2019 again. We fell short. The fact of the matter remains that I know that things will be better. We could not do well in last year's T20 World Cup, but I know there's one more coming up. And that's human resilience all about. We get up. We know things go wrong, and we know that we have to get up. We know things are going to only get better. I don't know, this picture, don't think too much about it, although I'm a big fan of Rishabh Pant. But the fact of the matter is, there is always a new generation which is going to lift us up. And today, that new generation is sitting in the auditorium, perhaps logged into this talk from their residences. It's not just Professor Shorkar, the Vice Chancellor, sir, all the other professors over there, or people like me. The new generation is out there, and you're going to take us to a better tomorrow. Every recession, every time the world went down, there was a recession, and every recession gave us a world beating company or more. I suspect 2021, 2020, 21, and 2022 will be also a little bit of a difficult year, perhaps, will throw us tremendous companies of the future. We do not know what those companies are going to be as yet. But those of you who believe that Google, Kimba, Apple, or Tesla is unbelievable, I would like to remind you 20 years back, Tesla wasn't there, Google was very small, and Apple was just trying to come out of almost bankruptcy. Those of us who are slightly older than most of our audience over here, we know that we grew up in a world where there was no internet, which is it's absolutely impossible for all our young learners to even imagine. So please remember, at every recession, something great happens. Post-COVID, something great is bound to happen. I'm going to go back to that video. When life... You've heard this expression, we make lemonade. And this is a fantastic video of when life gives you lemons, how you make lemonade. I hope you can hear it. I hope you can see it.
The traffic jam lock. We use real-time data to detect our potential buyers in a traffic jam to offer them a walk and deliver on the move. Our meeting was 100% dynamic, promoting our service only in high-congested zones. By leveraging traffic and drivers' real-time data, we adjusted our billboards, location, and content. The messages displayed information about the remaining time in traffic to order and personalized updates about deliveries and progress. Also, Waze banner and push notifications invited drivers to get a walk as soon as they entered our delivery zones. People were able to use voice commands to place the order and avoid tickets. Finally, using the latest Google Maps APIs, our app pinpointed vehicle location and speed in order to deliver for the first time ever to a driver on the move. The delivery zones changed following the traffic block, making our service available when a gridlock was identified, always within a 3-kilometer radius from restaurants. In just 1 week, we increased delivery orders by 63%, and our daily app download rate increased 44 times, becoming the #1 fast food app, surpassing McDonald's, Domino's, and Starbucks in Mexico. Coming soon, Los Angeles, San Paulo, and Shanghai. The traffic jam walk. Enjoy the traffic jam.
I find that video a tremendous video. See, that video is, according to me, a huge recognition of what human beings are capable of. We are thrown something abnormal. We can cower down. We can be miserable about it, and then we can figure out that there is an opportunity out there inside that mess. Talking about mess, what you see in front of you in the screen is a classic little twiddle about a mess. But from all of those messes that's around in your life, there is a way out, there is a way forward. And life is like that. Life is about taking choices, making choices. Shall
Please, please, somebody put it on mute. Somebody put him on mute.
well, continuing, life is about making choices. There's mess all around you, there is noise all around you, as we just experienced noise all around you. It's about making choices. The gentleman who accidentally have a choice to ignore the noise around us, wait and look for an option, and there is always an option. There's an option to move out of whatever. And I'm inviting each of you learner to look at this picture very carefully. It's been taken by one of my friends who's also one of our business partners. He's a tremendous photographer. He's also one of India's best data scientists. This picture is fantastic. He took it in Jaipur. This picture to me speaks of many stories, but we'll stick to one story right now. I believe each one of you is unique. Each one of you can look at world around you and see a crowd, a mess. Each one of you is different from everyone out there. Throughout our recent history of education in the last, say, couple of hundred years, we have made great progress because of education. But education also, unfortunately, puts you together in boxes. A grade student, B grade student, C grade student. We've been putting people in boxes for a very long period of time. It is the outcome of perhaps an industrialized or civilization that we went through in the last couple of hundred years. The world of entrepreneurship looks at it slightly different. The world of entrepreneurship, the world of creativity, as Ken Robinson said, everybody is unique. At times, in school, in college, we don't get to realize how unique we are. But you're all unique in your own minds. And this, I think, session today is an attempt for all of us to explore how unique you actually are. Forget about your school grades, forget about your college grades, forget about all the career that your parents and your teachers, your professors, and your friends have decided for you. Ask yourself, what is it that you really wanted to do? And if you don't know the answer, remember, from every mess, there is a way forward. You will know. Entrepreneurship. Now, what is entrepreneurship? Are we the smartest out there? Are we unique? Are we the most intelligent people out there? That हमारे थे कि बेशी बुद्धिमान और क्यों नहीं हमसे ज़्यादा अक्लमंद और कोई नहीं है Are we? I'm not sure. Are we necessarily extremely tech savvy? We are possibly you are more tech savvy than your parents are because you were born with technology, your parents were not. But not necessarily everybody who becomes an entrepreneur becomes extremely tech savvy. Of course, there is no real life. I mean, the life as we see tomorrow is going to be even more tech dependent. But you don't necessarily have to be the most tech savvy person. To me, an entrepreneur is all about context. It's all about perspective. All about how we see the world around us. কিরকমভাবে আমরা আমাদের দুনিয়াটাকে সামনে দেখতে পারি দেখছি how do we visualize ourselves and it's all about possibilities of what is out there perspectives that you see perspective is a very powerful word perspective makes us think I remember and I will give one more cricket metaphor many years back when Shoaib Ganguly our beloved Dada was the captain and we did very well in the World Cup in 2003 but we lost in the finals. Just before the final, Saurabh was asked the importance of people like the middle order batsmen, or was it just after the World Cup? I've forgotten. And he was asked the role of Yuvraj Singh and Mohammad Kaif in a team full of Saurabh Ganguly and Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid. What do those Kaifs and Yuvrajas do? And Saurabh had very nicely said it's all about perspective, and that's the way I see it. He said, at times a quick fire 25 or 30 runs is as important has an 80 or a 100 done at the top of the innings. It's all about situations and what do you do in a particular situation. And those of you who play cricket, you know, হঠাৎ 18th ki 19th over এসে 3 run দেওয়াটা is as important as perhaps um, a maiden over at the beginning of the innings. It's all about perspective. It's all about the situation that you're in and what choices you make in that particular situation. Sure, entrepreneurship is all about passion. It's about dedication. It's about feeling the love of what you do. But it's also about being very aware and focused um, about what you truly want. And I hope some of you will ask me questions on this. I keep hearing this all the time. I'm a startup guide. I'm a startup mentor. People call me. I'm some sort of a mini investor. I teach entrepreneurship in many places. So is there something called a startup culture? I don't think so. I don't think there is a startup culture. Startups have been around for a very long period of time. Of late, they're a little more than before. When I was your age, or maybe earlier, I come from a middle class Bengali family. Nobody was an entrepreneur in my family. In fact, a middle class Bengali family would look down upon entrepreneurship back then. ব্যবসা করছে must be bad in studies. When I first came back to the country in 1998, 99, the general belief in my family was that I either lost my job, I did work for 1 year in a company, or I lost my visa. Neither of them were true. It was very difficult to explain to people that I want to build something, I want to create something. Generally, we would be risk averse and we will go ahead and sort of get into a job and try and build a life. There's nothing wrong with that. That has changed now. Younger people are much more prone to taking risks than people were, say, 25, 30 years back. Because the world around us has changed. It's nothing to do with the startup culture. Even large corporations behave like startups nowadays. Are we ambitious? Are entrepreneurs ambitious? Yes, I think so. And you have to ask yourself, are you ambitious? And ambition does not necessarily mean that you have hunger for money. I mean, there's nothing wrong with if you have hunger for money. But I think ambition in this case is the drive to try and do something more, something different. Perhaps set out a path that you would choose. Thank you. It's about making choices. Ambition is about setting barriers, and achieving those barriers and saying that my new barrier is here. In sports, for example, we believe the only person you compete with is yourself. If you did very well in a match, the next time you try and better that. So ambition is not necessarily, coming first in the class or getting a job which has got a huge salary. Ambition is trying to get better every day. Ask yourself that. Are you ambitious in the definition that I gave you? Now, I wish I could talk to you. I wish I was there physically in front of you. I would have asked you, what does this doll remind you of? Different people give different reactions to this. Some say that it's very cute. Many say it's very creepy. If you can gaze into the screen a little bit more, those of you in the auditorium, you may not be able to see it as clearly. I'm sure there's a projector of sorts over there. But those of you who can see this, if you can gauge into the eyes of this doll, it does look a bit creepy. Now, the question is, what does this doll signify? Now, I unfortunately cannot get your opinion on this, so I'm going to go ahead. The inventor of this doll, this immensely creepy talking doll, it was a talking doll many, many, many years back. When it first came out, it scared children and adults, and it was a big flop. The doll was not a big success. People bought it and they were so scared, and then people stopped buying it. But what's interesting is Edison created this doll. Now, if people would have told Edison that you are hopeless, you are useless, you are not worth doing anything, you can only make things that people don't want, then perhaps we would not have had the light bulb. What I learned from this picture is that entrepreneurs are ever prepared to fail. Our education system, our life, our society, we have stigmatized failure. We have stigmatized failure so much that we don't want to take chances. Going back to cricket, once Virendra Sehwag was asked, of course he was exceptional, impossible to compare most batsmen with him, but he was asked, आप इतना जो मार के खेलते हो, आपको डर नहीं लगता है आप आउट हो जाओगे? And Sehwag said, अगर आपको डर लगेगा आउट होने का, तो आप जरूर आउट हो जाओगे. There is a lot of lesson in that for me. We are going to fail. Question is, what do you do when you fail? Entrepreneurs are always prepared to fail. Question is, they can pick themselves up. Ask yourself, can you pick yourself up? Now, some of you would be immediately able to recognize what this is. Others won't. This can look like a little tila, a little mountain. This can look like I don't know, you. This is a vain attempt from me uh, to talk about something that our life, we have seen this and we will keep seeing this again and again. And this will make sense. This bell curve is what life is all about. We are continuously trying to build bell curves around us. There are some restaurants which are exceptional, some which are terrible, most are average. There are some cricketers who are exceptional, some who are terrible, most are average. Now, the definition of average can change. You can put this in economics and society. Some are very rich people, some are very poor people. Most are average, which is not necessarily true in our country. I think most people are poor in our country. But you get the sense, the middle class, for example, the ever increasing middle class. Now, this is an important bell curve for us to remember, right? You have to ask yourself in this bell curve, where do you see yourself? Whatever this bell curve may signify in your own mind, where do you see yourself? See, life per se has been focused and boundaried for us. Well, you have to go to school, you have to wear a uniform, you will turn up over there, you have to wish your teachers good morning. There will be books that are there, it is laid out what is it that you're going to study. If you get a certain kind of marks, you will be considered to be smart. It is all boundaried and decided for you. And then in those boundaries, the boundaries have been largely made so that they are reasonable and safe. And there's nothing wrong with that. Your parents want you to be safe. Your teachers want you to have a safe career. You would want to have a safe career. Ask yourself, does a little bit of unreasonability excite you? Most of us would like to pack our bags and go to an airport or a station, knowing fully well where we are going to. But ask yourself, at times, is it okay for you to go to a restaurant which you have never heard of, which you don't know what it sells? In fact, there are restaurants out in the West where it's completely dark and you don't even know what you're eating. Ask yourself, is it okay for you to go to the station, hop into a train, not knowing where you're going? We pretend that we know what life is going to be tomorrow. We don't. We can only make educated guesses. Entrepreneurship is embracing this uncertainty, embracing this unreasonable. Because human beings are unreasonable. Human beings can survive in uncertainty. Ask yourself, do you want to be only safe? You want to only conform, go around in circles? Then how do you move forward? Well, entrepreneurship is the way of moving forward. This world has moved forward. This world has moved forward because there have been entrepreneurs. You're using a computer screen right now, which is invented by an entrepreneur. You're wearing certain kinds of clothes, which somebody thought needs to be better than the other ones earlier. All have phones in your hands, made by entrepreneurs. Every little thing that you enjoy was made by some entrepreneur or the other. Entrepreneurship does not necessarily mean a unicorn, a billion-dollar company. 52% of this country, of our country, has entrepreneurs. 52% of our working force are self-employed. Yet our entire education system pushes us towards a few companies. I am inviting you to think otherwise. United States has 30 million entrepreneurs may double in the next few years. You know, it's not a fad anymore. There are more and more people thinking that I would like to give it a try. Entrepreneurship is not just owning a business. It's about not giving up. It's about being comfortable with uncertainties. It's about, amongst many things, being accountable. Do these words describe you? Not giving up. Comfortable with uncertainties. Are you accountable? Are you responsible for yourself and for others? Ask yourself. If these words describe you, then I would like to believe you have an entrepreneurial mindset. Even if you take up a job, it is only those with entrepreneurial mindsets who do well. Heads of departments, deans of institutions, leaders of any college are entrepreneurs as far as I am concerned. Directors and general managers in companies, captains of cricket and football teams are all entrepreneurs. They're continuously trying to think on their feet. They don't give up. They are not uncomfortable with uncertainties. Ask yourself, are you responsible? Can you take responsibility or do you like to push it on somebody else? If these words describe you, you have an entrepreneurial mindset and you can be an entrepreneur. This is a picture of a vain attempt from me to describe future. Question is, when is the future? Question is, where is the future? And the question also is, what is the future? See, we are always trying to predict the future. We try to learn from the past, we try to predict the future, we live in the present. We have expectations, responsibilities, aspirations, dreams, and then we have realities. The first four are for the future. Then we have our realities and where we live in. And we have worries, uncertainties, risks, fears from the past and about the future. You have to manage all of these things continuously. Your parents have been managing, your teachers, professors, everybody's managing, you are managing. I feel the future is now. It's not what happens tomorrow. The future is what you do now. Are you prepared for that now? Nick Faldo, golfer, once said, the harder you practice, the luckier you get. And I want you to think about those of you who dance or sing, you know how important it is to practice. Rivas Kevina to be an accomplished musician over a period of time is impossible. I believe the future is where I am currently. I believe the future is what I am now. I, today, am the first step of the future that I'm going to have tomorrow. Has COVID changed the world? See, the world was always changing. It was actually changing quite rapidly, it's just that we did not see the change. It's like if you meet somebody after a long time, you would be able to see whether the person's has put on weight or lost weight. But if you see the person every day, you may not see the change. What COVID did is that it accelerated the process. The change that was taking place, which we were possibly not seeing, it just happened like that. COVID has fused the world. COVID has ensured that the incubation cell can have experts from anywhere in the world using Microsoft Teams and Zoom or whatever. COVID has made sure that the world of internet and telecom is now going to accelerate and 5G is going to come to you faster. Let's just look at jobs in 2030. Do you really believe the jobs of 2020 will be there in 2030? Then you're mistaken. You're wrong. I mean, we are already 3D printing kidneys. We are we are working on skin grafts. The world is working on these things. 2030, a substantial number of people in the developed world and some in the developing world will have a chip in your body, which will be connected to the internet. Does that believe abnormal? Why? Haven't you heard of a pacemaker? Haven't you heard of devices which can give a little dhakka for the heart to restart? The Tata Group has been working on an apparel with a chip over here which will measure body temperature and a whole bunch of other things that a smartwatch measures so that they can monitor their staff when they're working in factories and help them before they fall ill. This is not the future, it's happening now, it's been happening for the last couple of years. 2030, the world will not look like what it looks like today. And I'm anticipating a substantial number of the students over here are 22, 23. 28 years from now, when you are 50 years old and the world is in 2050, do you really believe the world will look like today? It won't. It just will not. You have to look at the world in the way it is going to be and not through the eyes of your teacher, professor, or your parents. Because we don't know what the world is going to be like. You will see it. We will also see it, hopefully, but you will certainly see it. See, business tomorrow will not be the same as before. 50% of the Fortune 500 companies may not remain in the Fortune 500 list. Many may go bankrupt. Don't be surprised if there is no Google after 10 years. It's impossible to imagine, isn't it? Why? 20 years back there was no Google and the world still worked. Most of the internet is textual in nature, yet 70% of internet traffic is now visual, it's video. Google runs, the main revenue comes from their search engine, and that search engine may not be applicable in the world of alternate or the world of mixed reality. Maybe there will be a bigger Google. Who knows? The world is going to change, guys. The future, the future will be a mixture of technology, understanding of how the world works, the economics behind it, and human behavior. It's time for us to ask ourselves, are we looking at the future or are we still living in the past? And that last line is for you. What is your plan? And ask yourself that. It's your job to figure out your future, not your colleges, not your parents. Many years back, well, 200 plus years back, the commissioner of the US Patent Office not very smartly said, everything that can be invented has been invented. In 1899, he felt there will be no more inventions. And he was the commissioner of the Patent Office, in charge of inventions. He was not very clever, was he? Can you imagine going back to 1899 and see what the world was like? Can you imagine if we could bring that gentleman to 2022? He's going to go mad, right? So the work in hand for all of us right now, I have another 10 minutes. The work in hand for all of us right now is quite cut out right now. It's going to be very different. The student journey is going to change. Edutainment is important. You know that we all suffer from attention disorder. Many of you, while listening to me, picked up your phone and started twiddling and checking your WhatsApp. Attention disorder is prime. And while you have attention disorder listening to your professors, remember that people will have attention disorder listening to you. You already know that. So how do you make sure that your content catches people's attention? How do you define what the new roadmap is? This job is the job of academic institutions such as yours. It's also your job. How do you decide what that roadmap is going to be? I've given an example of it. An example is that, do you really know how companies work? All of you have used Swiggy. Do you know how Swiggy works? All of you use Instagram. Do you think Instagram will survive in 2025? Do you know how Instagram makes money? Or through advertisements, people will tell me. Do you know how they actually make money? Or what will happen to all these steel companies? Or what will happen with climate change? Do you think plastic will survive 5 years from now? When do you think battery operated cars are going to come in, and what is the biggest problem with that? Do you think batteries can explode in a battery operated? Ask questions. Ask questions of yourself. I mean, I've been a student, I still am a student, I go back to college whenever possible. You must have a good time. Nothing wrong with that. I have a good time. I watch tons of movies. I play cricket. I travel a lot. I climb. But if you stop asking questions, the world will just go that bit faster than you, and you will be playing catch up. This roadmap of a student is your roadmap, and you need to take charge. Not your college's job to give you the roadmap anymore. It's your job to create your own roadmap. How did you use the last 2 years? If I ask you, what did you do in these last 2 years when most of you were at home? I was thinking, all of a sudden, these 2 years just went from our hands. What did you do? And your teachers will need a roadmap, alumni will need roadmap, everybody in this college will need roadmaps. We all need to change the way we are going to be because the world has definitely changed post COVID. What's an entrepreneurial culture? Possibly look at studies and subjects differently. I expect you to be more student initiated, student run, and student led. You need to talk to the industry because that industry is changing continuously. You need to see society, you need to understand society. It's a weird world that we live in of extreme riches and extreme poverty. Do you truly understand your country? Or do we only feel what India means? And I have lived abroad most of my life, so I have a different perspective of India. I still carry an Indian passport. Indianness come out in us every time India. Wish, hope, plan, execute. You've already started an e-cell and an incubator. What are you going to do with it? What's your plan? It's time to reset. When do you think the future will come? Those of you who have seen this will immediately know this. And if you don't know this, you must know this. If you have not seen the Matrix, go and see it. The blue pill and remain a slave to the illusion that the world will be created and built by somebody else, or take the red pill and become a slave to the reality that you will create. Either way, it's your choice. And my cat comes back, and as we end the last stage, the last 5 minutes of my presentation, what do you think are problems and must change? And there lies entrepreneurial journey that started. What do you think will happen in this world to you, to us, in 2025, in 2030, in 2050? There lies the seeds of the next great company, which for all you know, will be made by somebody sitting next to you right now, or by you. It's a beautiful expression. There's nothing in this world that you can't turn into heroin. There is nasha in anything that you want to do, provided you truly want to do this. Find what you truly want to do. And I'm going to play. Those of you who know Hotel California by Eagles, you will remember this song. And I remember I told you I'm obsessed with cats, and here it goes. Picture comes back. You can make music with anything. Anything. Anything is possible in this planet. And today is, and I'm going to leave this as a question if anybody wants to ask question. According to me, today is the first day of the future. The future you can build, you have to do it. Are you traveling alone? No. The future is to appreciate, to learn, to serve. Look at this picture. There's two gentlemen flying a plane. Look at them in their cockpit, and they don't know what's coming at them. They're busy taking a selfie. It's true for you and me. Those of you who wish to connect with me, you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. I'll be more than happy to connect with all of you. Very happy to take some questions. Thank you very much.